narrations. And there are more, but time doesn't allow because I really want to deal with nasheed, inshallah. Now let me tell you the consensus, the ijma', the unanimous agreement of those who are qualified to deal with the deen of Islam. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, الدف حرام الدف حرام والمعازف حرام والكوب حرام والمزمار حرام. He said, radiallahu anhu an abih, الدف is forbidden, and musical instruments in general are forbidden, and included in ma'azif we said singing. Kuba, the drum, is forbidden, and the flute is forbidden. He mentioned four, enumerating each and every one to indicate what? The impermissibility of these particular musical instruments. This was the position of the four khulafa. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, الغناء ينبت النفاق في القلب. This is very important, and we will deal with this soon inshallah. Singing produces hypocrisy in the heart. And we will see how, with very practical examples that I've personally tried in my life, which I will share with you inshallah ta'ala soon. Al-Hasan al-Basri used to say, لَيْسَتِ الدُّفُوفُ مِنْ أَمْرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَأَصْحَابُ عَبْدِ اللَّهِ بْنِ مَسْعُودٍ كَانُوا يُشَقِّقُونَهَا. He said the dufuf, these hand drums, have nothing to do with the affair of the Muslims. This is foreign to the affairs of the Muslims. And the companions of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud used to break them and rip them apart. If they went into the alleys and they found youngsters with the duf, they would take the duf from them and they will destroy it. Now Islamically, if you destroy the property of someone, you are responsible for replacing it for them. However, if that product is forbidden, then no such thing is expected of you. Because it was forbidden, they would rip them apart and no compensation was given. And this is the opinion of the four madhahib, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and we will deal with the rest. So pay attention to that. Now let us deal with the actual imams. And we often mention them. Some people complained after, they told me, why do you mention the imams? You're trying to tell the people to blindly follow a madhab. We say, a'udhu billah. We're not among those who tell you, become a Hanafi or you will go to Jahannam. Become a Hanbali or you're not going to be guided. No, no, no. We say the Quran and the Sunnah are sufficient for us, and we follow among the A'immah those who were upon the righteous path. All of them were, but nobody was infallible. Anyways, there's a special lecture inshallah called, what is your madhab? We will deal with this inshallah in the future. Until such time, I'm only mentioning the madhab to know that those who were trusted among the Muslims from back then until today, this is the position they held. So if anyone here or elsewhere claims to be a follower or a blind follower of any madhab, and you wind up getting the information from your madhab, then going against it, then know, my brother and sister in Islam, that you're following your desires, not an imam. Not an imam. Because if you're following the imam, then you would follow him on this issue as well. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he had the strictest madhab. His madhab was so strict concerning musical instruments. Listen to this. He detested singing, and he considered it sinful. They would reject the person's testimony. In other words, like my sheikh said it before, if they were just sitting in a gathering and someone came and said, listen man, I just saw this crime take place outside. Say, get out of here man. You listen to music all the time? You're going to come here and bear testimony? Your testimony will not be accepted. According to the Ahnaf, if someone came and said, I saw any crime, and he was among those who listened to music, his testimony will be rejected. Wow. Listen to more. They also said music, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah said music is haram according to all religions. Rahimahullah, he even went back to Judaism, Christianity, he said in all religions music was forbidden. He further said, listening to music is fisk, defiant, disobedient, and enjoying it is disbelief, kufr. He said, if you listen to music and you're having a good old time, bumping your head, he said, you're disbelieving in Allah at the time of listening to music, because you are enjoying something totally forbidden, instead of feeling guilty, remorseful, and otherwise. This was the strictest madhab. We're not saying that everyone who listened to music and enjoyed it is a kafir. I'm telling you what the Imam said. Rahimahullah, he had his views, he had his point. The situation back then was different. So we're not saying that everyone who listens to music is a kafir. Don't misunderstand me. But that's what the Imam said, Rahimahullah. And we said that this was the strictest madhab among the rest. Imam Malik, he was asked, ما عما يترخص فيه أهل المدينة في الغناء فقال إنما يفعله عندنا الفساق. He was asked, what do people of Medina, because he was the Imam of Darul Hijrah. He was the Imam of Medina. He was asked, what is it that you guys have? What concession do you have concerning singing? He said in another narration, he says, A'udhu Billah. He said, we seek refuge with Allah. None does this here except the corrupt people. No one gets involved in music and singing except the corrupt people among the society. This was the position of Imam Malik. Furthermore, when somebody asked him about singing, he said, فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ أَهُوَ حَقٍّ. He said, Allah says in the Quran, what is after the truth except deviance? I ask you, is singing the truth? What is the truth? The Quran. What is after the truth except deviance? This was the fiqh of Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala. Imam Shafi'i, in his book, Adab al-Qada, he said about the one who partakes in song to be an incompetent fool. Someone who's foolish. He's an incompetent fool or idiot whose testimony is to be rejected. Back then, if you know, walking around with your earphones, you know, enjoying yourself while jogging, as some of the Muslims do today, well, I go to the gym, brother, and you know, the gym has music. So, you know, in order for me to exercise well, I need some, you know, some hot beats in the background. Furthermore, he said, I left something in Iraq, people called taghbir, which was invented by the heretics to lure the people away from the Quran, predominantly the Sufis. And we will deal with the Sufis and how they got involved into this whole music business very much in a heavy fashion. Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah ta'ala, his son Abdullah, who was another Imam, followed his father's footsteps in righteousness and knowledge. He asked his father about music. He said, it does not surprise me that it cultivates hypocrisy in the heart. Now, let me share with you some wisdom. What is the wisdom behind the prohibition of music, the prohibition of musical instruments, singing, and the likes? And we will include Islamic nasheed, not all of it, but the one that you see today on YouTube and otherwise. But before that, let me tell you what Ibn Qayyim al-Jawzi rahimahullah said. He said, speaking about Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu had said that singing cultivates hypocrisy in the heart. He said, these are the words of someone who fully understood singing and its effects. Been there, done that. I can testify to this. For no one regularly sings or listens to songs except that his heart falls into nifaq, hypocrisy, without him realizing. Listen to this. If such a person understood the reality of nifaq, hypocrisy, and its end, he would see it in his own heart. Never do the love of songs and love of the Quran come together in a person's heart. Never do they come together in a person's heart, except that one expels the other. If the singing comes in, the Quran is out. If the Quran comes in, the singing is out. And let me share with you my own personal experience concerning this issue. In another country, I was with a man in a car, going to what? Jumu'ah. Salatul Jumu'ah. Now, what are you supposed to be doing on the way to the masjid? Takbir? Tasbih. Particularly on Jum'ah, sending the salah. You right? Durood Sharif. Salat salam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? It's Jum'ah. It's reciting Surah Al-Kahf. You haven't memorized it. You listen to it. So when you get to the masjid, you can read it. Something along these lines. Right? So here I am, a happy camper, sitting with this older man. And I just got my hand, this is when Allah first guided me, right? I'm still, you know, I just left the music and all that nonsense, you know, no more, I was no longer a rapper. I have this beautiful recitation, man, beautiful recitation of the Quran that really gets you involved. You know, one of these Egyptian Qurra who really do the tartil correctly. So, I'm comfortable with the man. I pop in my tape,